You've been lied to about what discipline actually is. Everyone keeps selling you routines: wake up early, work out, journal, meditate. But here's the truth nobody tells you. People who changed their lives didn't start with discipline. They started with obsession. Because discipline is what remains after obsession fades. It's the backup generator, not the main engine. And you can't run on backup forever. That's why your motivation dies every 3 days. You're forcing discipline on things you don't truly care about. Treating symptoms, while the real disease spreads underneath. Think about the last time you stayed up all night, not because you had to, but because you wanted to. A conversation, a game, a project that grabbed you so deeply you forgot time. You didn't need discipline. You needed someone to pull you away from it. I once met a woman named Sarah in a coffee shop. She was writing, absolutely consumed by her work. Her coffee had gone cold. When I asked what she was working on, she looked up like waking from a dream. She'd been writing the same novel for 8 months. Same coffee shop. Same table. Rain or shine. And when I asked how she stayed so disciplined, she looked confused. She said she wasn't disciplined at all. She said she was haunted by a story that wouldn't leave her alone. That's the real secret they never print in productivity books. The people you admire aren't more disciplined than you. They're more obsessed than you. They found something that disturbs their peace. Something that makes comfort feel like a cage. And once you find that, discipline becomes automatic. Not because you're strong, but because you can't stop. But here's the dangerous part. Most people never find their obsession, because they're too busy chasing someone else's. Building businesses they don't believe in. Chasing bodies they don't actually want. Reading books that bore them because they're supposed to. And then they wonder why nothing lasts. You can't discipline yourself into caring. You can only discipline yourself into pretending. And your brain knows. That's why you self-sabotage. Why you procrastinate. It's not weakness, it's rejection. Your mind is rejecting a life that isn't yours. The exhaustion you feel isn't from lack of sleep. It's from spending your energy on things that drain you, instead of things that feed you. The strongest version of you isn't the one who can force anything. It's the one honest enough to admit what they truly want, even if it's strange, inconvenient, or misunderstood. Because deep down, you already know. That one idea that stalks your thoughts. That dream that keeps knocking, even after you locked every door. You've called it unrealistic. Buried it under logic and responsibility. But the truth? It's the only thing that's ever felt real. You don't lack focus. You've just been focusing on survival, not purpose. You built habits to avoid failure, not to chase greatness. Every morning you rehearse reasons to wait. Every night the whisper returns, this isn't it. You say you're tired, but you're not tired of working. You're tired of working on things that don't set your soul on fire. You've mistaken comfort for peace, routine for progress, fear for logic. And the longer you avoid what you love, the heavier it becomes. Passion doesn't disappear, it rots. It suffocates you from the inside out. So stop calling it procrastination. Call it what it really is, grief. The grieving of the life you were meant to live, but never began. But here's what happens when you finally stop mourning and start moving. When you stop managing your potential, and start unleashing it. When every drop of discipline, every late night, every ounce of focus, aligns with something that truly matters. The world begins to bend. Obstacles don't disappear, they bow. The same chaos that once drowned you becomes the current that carries you. You start waking up before the alarm, not from discipline, but from hunger. You work not for praise or validation, but because creation itself becomes addictive. Time loses meaning. Fear loses volume. Noise loses weight. And then something unexpected happens. The world starts whispering back. Doors open without knocking. opportunities arrive without introduction. People look twice, not because you changed, but because you finally stopped hiding who you really are. That's true discipline. Not punishment, alignment. Not control, surrender. You're not weak. You never were. Your strength was simply pointed at the wrong horizon. So this is your moment. The one you've been postponing behind fear and logic. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait to feel ready. Because the version of you that's coming isn't waiting for anything. He isn't searching for balance or comfort. He's building fire out of pain and turning silence into legacy. And when he arrives, you won't need to force discipline ever again. Because the man aligned with his obsession doesn't need to be pushed. He needs to be stopped. Most men will never reach this point. Not because they can't, but because they quit the moment it gets uncomfortable. They'll feel this fire. And then go back. Back to comfort. Back to noise. Back to excuses. But if you're still here, listening, then you already know. This wasn't just a video. This is a line in the sand. So don't let this moment rot into motivation. Turn it into direction. Subscribe to Master Your Fate. Not for inspiration, but for alignment. We build minds that don't drift. Habits that don't break. Men who don't wait to be saved. Because no one is coming to stop him. Except you.